It's an exciting day, the first time we get to open our and use our sauce that we made. The 130, did you catch the 130 jars of tomatoes that we canned? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make a very simple sauce because I have a few surprises what I'm making today. I'm not gonna reveal it all at once, but we're gonna start with a great olive oil. This is actually an olive oil that my daughter brought back from Tuscany. Super excited about that. And I want to say she got it in Tuscany, or she was in Puglia with her aunt. But yeah, this is a phenomenal olive oil. But I try different ones. I do have a great olive oil on my website as well that I absolutely love. So we're heating up the olive oil. This is a very simple, basic sauce, but at the same time, it's so elevated because of the fact that we have our sauce that we jarred. So I'm just gonna like pop it open, and wow, I'm so excited to use it. It could be a little tricky getting the lid off, but there it is. So we're just waiting for the olive oil to heat up. I'm making a marinara sauce. I notice, which is fine, sometimes people will use, and I have to, just garlic and then the red sauce with basil. But I'm doing it my grandma style, and we really like to put onions in it. The only difference is, as you saw when I chopped up the onion, I then put it in my food processor, and I'm doing a very, very finely chopped onion, and I also put the garlic chopped in there as well. So it's going in. It needs to get just a little hotter. It's coming along, but just try to get all your onions out. I'm gonna go in with a little spatula, because I don't know, I try not to leave any little piece of onion behind. So there we go. That's the onion and the garlic that you saw me chop up earlier. Now we're getting a nice, really nice little sizzle here. So sizzling along this Sunday morning. Joe's coming over at 2. He was going to come over earlier, but he told me he worked very late. And I said, you know what, that's okay. Just come. I'm just going to slowly work on our Sunday meal. And that's what I'm doing. Enjoying my Sunday morning, listening to a little classical music, which I do like. I like different kinds of music, but I enjoy that too. So yeah, here we go. So that's sizzling up just a little bit. Like I said, this is a basic marinara sauce, but again, very elevated because of our own tomatoes. So yeah, this is, like I said, it's really exciting. I know I get thrilled over little things, but yeah. So basically we're sweating the onions. My, I don't know, tip that I like to do, like I said, don't forget, is to take the time to put the onion in a food processor so it's really, really fine for this recipe, and you'll see later why. Because I do love onion, I just don't want to get any little bit of it in, so it's going to require a super fine chop, and then that's when I, get help from the food processor. A lot of times I like to chop, it's sort of fun, therapeutic, but this time I did get a little help from the food processor because I do want it so fine. So we're getting a nice little sweat on there. Gonna wait about 30 seconds more, and then we're just gonna put the tomatoes in. If you go to one of the posts that I made, a video, we did 130 jars of tomato sauce with my cousins last month. I think we did it on Labor Day. We did do it on Labor Day. And it was fun and brought family together, and honestly, we really enjoyed the day, and it's always fun sharing with them. Okay, so here goes in the sauce. There we go. Now you're gonna go ahead and put it on very high. I'm gonna go grab a little water. I don't want a lot of water, but I am gonna do like maybe a quarter water. Quarter water. And then it helps release all the tomatoes that are in the jar too. Again, I try not to leave anything behind. Okay. We're gonna add a pinch of salt. In this case, I just sort of eyeball it. Pinch. A little ground pepper. The basil I chopped up. There we go. Little basil. Can't go wrong with basil. As you can see, now the sauce is bubbling. We have everything inside. Now, once it comes to a little bit of a boil here, I am going to lower it to low. There we go. Now, to your preference, but be very, very careful. I like to add a little bit of crushed red pepper right into my marinara sauce. And that is going to be enough. For this sauce, I want to emphasize a pinch of salt because we will be using grated pecorino romano in our recipe later. So the pecorino romano does have some salt to it. So you want to be careful not to over salt in our sauce. When we made our jarred sauce, there's no salt in it. We strictly do the tomatoes, grind it through the mill, and have a little bit of basil at the bottom of each one. And there you go. It already smells really good. And then now we're just gonna let it simmer for about 20 minutes to a half hour while I prepare the other things, okay? Okay, so we're on to step 2. I didn't tell you what I'm making yet, but it's definitely inspired by some of my Sicilian heritage. I am half Bades and half Sicilian. My mom was Sicilian, my dad was Bades, and today we're celebrating Sicily, and I have a little bit of a surprise. So definitely inspired by flavors of Sicily, but I'm definitely making it my own. So I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is yet, but as you can see, this is a big hint. It's obviously going to be done with eggplant. So you're just going to peel. I don't like to peel all of the eggplant skin off. I just want to get at it and sort of stripe it, because I do like a little bit of the skin on just for color and probably added nutrients. So we did that one. And we're gonna do the other one. We might not use all these eggplant. Could use it for something else later on in the week. But I am going to, so basically what we're gonna do, we are gonna put it in a baking dish. But you can also fry it. But this time I decided to put it in a baking dish. So again, I'm doing the same thing with the other one. I'm using a potato peeler. You could use your knife if you like to get in if you can and want to get in real close with a knife, the grandma knife. I personally, for me, I do like the potato peeler. I'm not really good with getting really, really close as I can to the skin with just the grandma knife. Maybe I should practice more. All right, so going in there. A little bit more. There we go. So I'm actually gonna cut these in chunks. It's a beautiful eggplant. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna carefully, remember when I say carefully, really watch your fingers, your wrists. You have to really pay attention to everything you're doing during the cutting process. I really cannot emphasize that enough. So go ahead, and this is how I'm gonna do it. In this case, I like these pieces just a little bit finer and delicate. Again, it's your personal preference, but I like for this recipe for them to be just a little bit finer. This way you're gonna find eggplant in every bite. Okay, so we'll go in like that. If you need to get some out of the way, have your bowl handy so you can transfer it to your other bowl. I don't know if you can see that on screen, but I have my little handy dandy bowl next to me. And there we go. Just keep going along like that till you get it all chopped up. I don't know if you've cooked with eggplant before, but I have to say it's really versatile. I use it in so many different ways. I really think it is a great alternative to meat sometimes. I mean, we do definitely cook with meat. We have plenty of recipes with meat, but I do like to use different vegetables. And one of my favorite is eggplant, zucchini. In Italy, they use a lot of these two vegetables, but it can depend on the season, and it could sort of depend also on what the family wants. I know my kids had a great influence on when I was cooking for the week or the day. And this one. So this was a nice size eggplant. I think for this recipe, I just decided sometimes you have to decide as you go along. You have to eyeball it and then just sort of make some decisions. But definitely this is a plenty of eggplant. So I'm just gonna go with the one eggplant. So this time, what I am gonna do, I'm gonna toss it with some olive oil, and I'm gonna roast it in the oven I'm gonna start out with a low roast, and then watch it, toss it with my spatula, and then keep an eye on it. But definitely get a nice toasty brownness to it, golden brown, and then we'll remove it. I'll show you what it'll look like once we get it all in. I'm gonna put it in the baking dish. So there we go. I'm not adding any salt to this because, again, the cheese is gonna make up for a lot of salt that I'm not adding right now. Eggplant can absorb things very quickly, so you have to be careful with that. But a generous amount of olive oil, for sure. Just sort of drudge it in there like that. And a little bit more. One for good look. Okay. And again, just toss it. Just so it gets distributed evenly. Just like that. In this case, because eggplant does absorb a lot of olive oil, make sure you have a generous amount. Do another toss, and then I'm gonna roast it in the oven. Keep tossing. I'm dropping eggplant all over the place, but that's okay. Put it back in as long as it doesn't hit the floor. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay, and then here's my, it's my little cookie sheet. I'm just gonna sort of brush it so it gets even on the bottom a little bit. Again, you can see I'm being generous with the olive oil. It's important to do that since we're not frying, but at the same time, we're gonna wanna give some of that good olive oil flavor. So honestly, just get this all on the cookie sheet. There you go. Perfect. little bit more. Okay, it's ready to go in the oven. Okay, moving along with the prep work for my dish, we're gonna grate some, this is Pecorino Romano. Pecorino meaning sheep, so it is sheep's cheese. So basically, again, you wanna watch your fingers, and you're just gonna grate. I have to say, there's nothing like fresh grated Pecorino Romano cheese. I interchange it between Romano and Parmigiano, so it just depends on the dish. I'll be honest, it depends on what I have on hand sometimes. I do interchange them. Some cheese snobs would be mad at me when I'm doing a very, very authentic recipe that I cannot change the recipe due to everyone wanting it to remain the same. I will definitely stick with the right cheese. But otherwise, for me, everything is open for interpretation. Okay, but I will let you know when I'm doing an heirloom recipe. And I promise to give you as close as possible to our family's rendition of whatever heritage recipe we are doing and preserving. So there's our cheese. And it's all ready for our dish. Hi, we have one more cheese to grate, and I do have to say this is one of the stars of the show for sure. Between this, I mean, I have a lot of surprises that I came up with for this original recipe that I'm creating with the guidance of a Sicilian influence, and I'm just going to reveal it. I'm getting my influence from, it's called pasta alla Norma, but my take on it is going to be, I have these little mini lasagna, and you're going to see those are so cute. So it's basically going to be lasagna alla Norma Siciliana. And it's going to be in one sheet pan. So I just want to show you that this is called ricotta salata. It's a Sicilian cheese. And I really believe, to at least say I'm inspired by pasta alla Norma, I definitely have to stick with the cheese. So what I'm doing is, you can sliver it. Again, my interpretation today, new recipe. I'm going to use this part, and it's going to create all these little grated pieces, almost like mozzarella. So I want to use a generous amount in this because it is one of the stars of the show, and it's going to give you that cheesy, delicious goodness, okay? And that looks like a nice amount, and I'll show you how we're going to use that later. Okay, so we're moving along. Super excited to show you. I know, who gets excited over pasta like this, but I do. But anyway, this is my cute little baby, little lasagna. You don't have to break them apart. They don't call them baby lasagna, but they are little baby lasagna. And this is what they are. And they're going right in. It's gonna be a really fun dish today, and I know I'm gonna have leftovers for tomorrow for Joseph, and I'm super excited about that too. So, a one dish wonder. I mean, obviously you do need separate dishes to roast the eggplant, to boil the pasta, but then it comes together all in one sheet pan. So it's very quick steps. You can get this done in less than a half hour and in the oven. Now with this, I will add salt to the pasta water. So you want to do, a nice amount. through there. And then give it a nice stir. Aren't they so cute? Oh yeah. Okay, once again, I took the eggplant out of the broiler. I moved it to high. I definitely thought it needed to be high, so it started getting that brown effect. So now I'm just tossing. I'm gonna put it in just for like a few more minutes, maybe 5. Make sure you give it a nice toss. And it's really actually coming together really nicely. I love it. I can't wait for you to see what I'm gonna do with it. Okay, hello. So here we are, it's coming together. The surprises are not over. So what I'm gonna do right now, everything's clean. I have my mixer here, my blender. I'm gonna take our sauce that's been cooking for a half hour. I'm gonna put a good amount, I don't know, I'll show you, like probably about 2 cups in here. And it's all gonna come together. This is going to be for the lasagna. Once you see, it'll all come together for you. So we have the sauce that we made, a little drizzle of white wine, my pecorino romano, a good handful, but maybe just half a handful like that. And then the secret ingredient is actually the eggplant. So it's gonna actually create a sauce. So I'm gonna do that. And one more thing, hold on. Just a splash of heavy cream. A splash. So I'm creating a pink sauce with the layers of eggplant and cheese, a little splash of white wine, and this is going to be our sauce. Perfect. And there's going to be our sauce for our sheet pan lasagna. Okay, the moment we all been waiting for, or at least I have. I'm super excited. So, okay, so there is the eggplant all ready. So now the assembly begins. You can do it different ways. I'm just gonna wing it, basically, like I kind of do a lot of things. So I'm just gonna put that right in there. Again, I think I'm eyeballing it. So it's gonna be like a 1 sheet pan. So I don't want it to be like layers on top of each other. So, and then we're gonna do the eggplant. Just put the eggplant in there. That's gonna be another layer. And then we're gonna do, I am going to pour some of my delicious eggplant tomato sauce all over that. Now you want to be careful not to oversaturate, but you don't want to undersaturate either. So it's a fine balance. It is a fine balance, but you're always eyeballing it in Italian cooking. There's a lot of eyeballing going on. So, and probably in all cooking, really. So I'm just sort of mixing it, tossing it. Now I'm gonna add my pecorino romano. Do you remember the start of the show, the ricotta salata? Salata. There we go. That's gonna give it a real cheesiness about it. And I'm also adding, it has to be very, very fine. This is mortadella, very, very finely sliced mortadella. And I just sort of break it apart like this. This is how I usually make my pasta forno. I always put a few pieces of mortadella. And so, to be honest, I thought it would be fun to put some mortadella in here, toss it up, and then see what we get. And that's kind of it. The main thing is I'm going to toss it now Make sure everything is distributed evenly. There we go. I think we'll do one more just for fun. You will hear a train passing by because I live by a beautiful train. So we enjoy the sounds, and luckily they stop in the evening. Okay. So again, tossing, tossing, tossing. Oh, by the way, my sheet pan, this is actually a large focaccia pan. We get these from Italy, from Puglia. They're awesome. We make our focaccia in here. I save some specifically for some pasta dishes and other dishes that I love. I love to cook roasted chicken in these pans. So these are so fun. I have tried to see them online. I don't see the exact ones that I get in Italy. If you want to leave a comment below, let me know. Honestly, if you like these pans, I can have my daughter, we can decide to import them. But I would love your comments and your ideas and thoughts if you like this Italian sheet pan, lasagna alla Norma, Siciliana. And then just for fun, I'm gonna put a little bit more of the sauce on top. I have the oven going at 400 because what I'm really trying to do with this, with the one sheet pan lasagna, I want to kind of get that crunch. You know when you get the lasagna top and it has a beautiful crunch to it? Well, that's exactly what I want to achieve here. I do have a little pecorino, so I'm going to use it. And there is a little surprise. This is what I do a lot of times. There's a lot of surprises today. What I do a lot of times is I improvise. So there's one thing I wanted to give the top a coating, a little topping of mozzarella for that cheesy, crunchy top. But guess what? I thought I had and I didn't. But what I do have is a lovely Gruyere, and I think it will be fun. So I'm doing it. We're putting Gruyere, grated Gruyere on top. It's going to give it a really nice blend. A little shout out to, I believe it's French cheese, if I'm not mistaken. So we're putting this on top. It melts just as lovely as mozzarella, but it gives it a little bit more of a little international flair. Okay. By fusing cheese from our Mediterranean neighbors. So this is it. And now it's going to go in the oven. I have it set for 450 already. And here we go. We did it. I just took it out of the oven. It looks great. It looks really awesome. It's still really hot, so I'm not sure, but I'm gonna kind of dig in and plate it. So as you can see, all the flavors are coming together. And you're gonna get those crunchy bits that you're just gonna love. And then I just wanna top it with the last of my pecorino romano. And there you have it. So I think, like I said, I decided on the name of my dish. I want to call it sheet pan lasagna alla Norma Siciliana, inspired by Sicily.